Yo, what is going on, guys? Michael Jordan, or the Copy Dog here, back with another Overwatch League video. This is going to be a different kind of video, okay? I'm going to be doing a live commentary, so hopefully this works. I'm just going to try it out, because, why the hell not? So, let's just hop right into it. So, today's topic is going to be the players to watch in Stage 2, because, yes, we have, all of our popular players, but there's still a lot of players that I think have yet to prove themselves or that have proven themselves and they're just fun to watch. So I'm going to name a player from each team who I am most excited to watch in Stage 2 to see how they develop, or if they get better than what I think they are, or if they can prove that they can be good. So anyways, let's just hop right into it. The way we're going to do this is we're going to do it based on standings. So Valiant is at number 20, so we're going to start with them. I might have to focus while doing this. Okay, so at number 20, for Valiant, I have Izzyaki. Sorry if I suck as well. Yeah, I have Izzyaki. He was probably one of their only good players in Stage 1, and I am excited to see if he can become even better. Because right now, I'd honestly say he's a top in his role. He looks really good, especially on a trashy team, so I'm excited to see if he can get better, and I'm excited to see if he is a factor on if their team can become better than what they are right now. Because right now they're actual trash. So he's going to be the player that I would watch out for in Stage 2. So the next player from Florida Mayhem, we're going to have McGravy. Now, mechanically, I've been super impressed with this guy. He's eating grabs left and right. He's looked like a solid flex tank, and I want to see if he's the real deal or if he's just another flex tank. I'm excited to see if McGravy can be better than what he's shown. I want to see if he's going to be a factor that helps the Florida Mayhem not be the worst team in the league. So McGravy is going to be who I would watch out for Florida Mayhem, because he's already looked super impressive. Probably one of their best players. And I'm excited to see if that's his peak or if he can peak higher. At number 18 for the Washington Justice, I have Stratus. Now, Stratus didn't turn 18 until the second or third week of Stage 1. And he hasn't really played that much. He played one map on Brigida for Temple of Anubis. He did not do good. And he played 2 or 3 maps as freaking Zenyatta for some reason. And I'm excited to see if he's actually going to play DPS or what's his deal, Stratus, I want to see if he's someone that I can hype up, because I honestly when I say who are good players and you say, oh, who's the best player in Washington Justice, I have no idea, because I don't know if Stratus can be an amazing player, and I think that he can. I believe in the kid, so he's going to be who I would watch out for on the Washington Justice. See if he can help them become a much better team than what they are. At number 17, we have the Paris Eternal. And for them, I am going to choose Cruz. I hyped up Cruz a lot coming into Overwatch. The guy said he would be a top 3 Lucio for sure. He looked super phenomenal at the World Cup. But so far, he's been a feeder, quite honestly. And I want to see if he'll be able to recoup to that World Cup form that we can know that he can be. Or if he's just going to be that's just a one-off tournament and he's just a decent average Lucio from here on out. And honestly, when I think of who to watch on Paris, I want to watch all the players. I want to see if Soon and Shadowburn can pick it up where they left off last stage. I want to see, I just want to see all the players to see how they do. Right now, I think their best player has to be Hip. He's been the only one that has looked good. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yo, I popped off. Holy cow, sorry. But yeah, so for Paris, I'd look out for Cruz. See if he can become the Lucio that I think that he can be. At number 16, number 16, we have the Chengdu Hunters. And then for Chengdu Hunters, the player, it's going to be Ameng. He's a fan favorite. I'm excited to see if he can improve his Reinhardt, because we know his Wrecking Ball is pretty good. He's definitely a good Wrecking Ball. His Reinhardt has looked amazing, and it has looked completely horrible. In two separate examples, we have the game against Atlanta Reign, where he looked sloppy on Rein, and we have the game against the Titans, where he literally outclassed Bumper at times. So we know he's a good Wrecking Ball, but can he be more than just a Wrecking Ball main? And I think if he can, then Chengdu Hunters are going to have, like, it's going to be good for them. At number 15, we have the London Spitfire. And for London Spitfire, I'm going to say the player to look out for is Guard. Guard has looked pretty good on that Sombra, and he was all red on the Brigida, but I want to see if he can be better, especially when we're going into a more DPS-focused meta. It's going to be part goats, yeah, but part of it is going to be that DPS, and I want to see if he can be a good DPS. At number 14. Yeah, at number 14, we have the Shanghai Dragons. And the player I want to look out for is Giguri. Now, obviously, we know that back in the past, we know the whole Giguri story, that someone thought that she was hacking, and they said, if you're not hacking, we will quit professional Overwatch. We know that happened. Oh my god, I hate this game. We know that happened. Can she come back to that form? She has looked like a good flex tank. She hasn't looked like the best, but she's looked good. And I want to see if she can become one of the best, because I do believe that she has that skill. She has been the best in the past. So I am excited to see if she can recoup that form, which is why Giguri is the player that you should look out for in the Shanghai Dragons. Hangzhou Spark, the player I would look out for is Guxue. This team's biggest problem has been figuring out their main tank. They started to stick with Guxue, and he's looked good, but obviously you can still see there's communication problems. I want to see if they get past those communication problems, if Guxue can be the player that I think he can be. Because I said in my power rankings, in my initial one, that I thought that he would be the Overwatch League MVP, or he has that talent to be the Overwatch League MVP. And I want to see if he can come to that status with the Hangzhou Spark. And that's why I would watch him. At number 12, we have the Houston Outlaws, and I would look out for Dante. I know Dante, he is a very good Sombra, and he's also a pretty decent Zarya. I'm excited to watch him because in stage 2 of last season, he looked super good on that Tracer. Like, he was definitely the most improved player of last year, and I want to see if he can continue to improve and peak even higher than what he has. And we haven't seen that yet because we haven't seen the DPS. We haven't seen like the DPS meta and stuff. So I'm excited to see if he can be the player that Houston Outlaws needed to become a top team. At number 11, we have the Guangzhou Charge. And obviously, I think it'd be a disrespect if I didn't pick Shu. Shu has definitely surpassed so many expectations. When we were talking before the season started about flex supports that were coming in that could be good, we were talking about the Violets, you know, the Izayakis, but nowhere did anyone mention that a player like Shu would be in that conversation, and he easily has been. He's been probably their best player. He's been super phenomenal, and I'm excited. I just want to watch him play. Like, for Charge, I love all the players, and I think they all have high peaks. But I'm just excited to see Shu more because, you know, he pops off a lot. So for Charge, definitely watch Shu. Number 10, we have the Los Angeles Gladiators. And I'm going to say, let's watch Decay. He has already looked like a stellar Zarya. He's the second highest rated Zarya right now. And I'm excited to see if he can get any better. Because, I mean, this guy had a, 150K buyout or something like that? Something ridiculous. And I want to see if he was really worth that money from the LA Gladiators. At number 9, we have AKM. AKM has definitely had a resurgence with this team, and I want to see if he can become even better. Because yes, AKM is probably one of their top players right now. I want to see if that's it. Like, if he's just gonna be like the second or third best player in the team. I think he could become really great, and I just want to see if he'll get better. That's pretty much for top 8. We are going to do how they placed in playoffs. So it's not going to be Uprising and then it's going to be Dynasty. It's going to be Uprising and then from seeding of where they place. So number 8, we have the Boston Uprising. And I'm going to say the player to look out for is Blase. Now, I know there's a lot of faces on this team that you can watch. You can watch RCK and see if he will be able to pop off with this team. We can watch Fusions continue to grow as an amazing main tank, or if he is just a GOATS main tank. We can see Axiom grow. We can see, you know, all their players. But I think Blase has been like the biggest turn for me. I was definitely impressed by his Brigida play, and I want to see if he's just that Brig Doom one trick that people say he is, or if he can rise above that and be a top flex DPS, which I think he can be. So I'm excited to see if he'll be able to live up to hype that I think he can achieve. Number 7. Before today, I was gonna say, or before yesterday, because I guess I'm recording this the day Baby Bay was announced. But before today, I was gonna say let's watch out for Nalir. But now that they're picking up Baby Bay, I have to assume that they're picking up Baby Bay to be a Zarya. And that's the place that he's replacing DeFran, right? Essentially. So I'm going to say both Baby Bay and Nalir, whichever one of them to start. This is my only one where I cheat because I genuinely don't know who is going to start. Nalir. Let's talk about Nalir first because he was going to be my initial choice. We all know Nalir. He's notoriously known for his phenomenal Widow play, and he can play other hit scan at a decent level. I want to see if he can play that Brig at a high level or that Zarya, whichever one he's going to be playing. And then for Baby Bay, holy cow, this guy can bring a lot of leadership to a team. He can bring a lot to a team, and I want to see if he can play Zarya at a high level. That's really what I'm excited to see if these DPS can step up to what DeFran was, or if they can be even better than he was. So I'm going to say both Nalir and Baby Bay, whichever one of them starts, is going to be the player to watch out for in the Atlanta Reign. Number 6, we have Toronto Defiant. Now, talk about a team that I'm the most confused about. Toronto Defiant. I don't know if they're good, and I don't know if they're bad. For number 6, I'm going to say let's focus on their worst player, who I think is going to be Yakpung. If we want to talk about bottom 3 Rhines in the league right now, Yakpung has to be in that discussion. And it's crazy because they are 5-2. Like, they look like a good team, but Yakpung just looks completely lost, and he looks like just a contender's player. So I want to see if Toronto can continue to work with him and build him up to be a good Reinhardt. Not a solid one. I'm not expecting a lot from Yakpung, but I'm expecting him to be better than what he has shown. So I personally am going to be watching out to see if Yakpung is the reason that this team can't be better, or if it's just overall the team, you know, can't be better. Because I do believe that this team can be a top team. Like, all their players, besides Yakpung, and I would say their main support, this team is incredibly strong. So I'm going to be excited to see if Yakpung can do better. For number 5, we have the New York Excelsior because, you know, they choked in playoffs. And my favorite player on their team, and I think is their best player actually, is going to be Animo. If we talk about all the players on New York Excelsior and them being the best, no one says Animo, which is like this. It's crazy to me because he's such an amazing freaking main support. Like, he's even better than Arc, who was arguably the best main support of last season. So I'm excited to continue to watch this guy play. I think Animo's their best player right now, and if I were to say, like, there's a player that you should continue to watch, it would be this guy. I don't know why I got nanoed. Yeah, so I would say let's watch Animo, because we all know that their other players can be phenomenal, and I know that Animo is probably, I'll say it right now, he's one of the best Lucios, and he's one of the least talked about players on the team, which I think is crazy to me. I think he's one of the best. So I'm excited to watch Animo continue to play. And, like, as I get to these top teams, it's like all their players are so good. So it's like I have to choose one, and it's hard, right? Because I would love to say, let's watch Nene, right? Or let's watch Jonak continue to be good. Like, everyone in the top teams are just, like, all their players are mainly so good. So I have to choose one. So I'm going to choose the player that I think can be better than what they've shown, or they're just the best at their role. So at number 4, we have Michelle, who honestly has been like the star of Soul Dynasty. Like, people want to say, oh yeah, Fissure have been so good and stuff, and he has, but like, Michelle is probably the reason why they're winning so many games. Like, I don't think if Michelle pops off as Sombra in the last thing, I don't think that this team makes it, you know. I don't think that they beat freaking what's that team? I don't think they beat New York if Michelle isn't in there. Like if they had Zumba or something, someone that can't be super flexible like Michelle, then I don't think that they win. So I'm excited to see Michelle continue to grow into the league because he's a rookie as well. So I'm excited to see him continue to play and impress. At number 3, we have the Philadelphia Fusion. And this one's hard. Like, I want to pick Carpe, right? Because he's a phenomenal player. But I think my favorite player on this team has to be Boombox. Boombox was definitely their worst part. Like, of last season, he was definitely their worst part. And I was a big critic. I was a big critic of him. I was like they should just get rid of him. And then he looked absolutely stellar at the World Cup. Probably one of the best flex supports at the World Cup. And then he's probably been their best player. Like, I mean, Philadelphia have only lost one game with Boombox in the lineup, and I think that says something. Yeah, I'm excited to see if Boombox can become better because I think he's been one of the top flex supports, and I think that he can be better. So if I were to say a player to watch on Fusion, I would say to watch Boombox. Okay, for number 2, the San Francisco Shock, I'm going to say Violet. While Violet is probably the second or third best flex support right now in the league, he did make a lot of mistakes in that playoff match. I'm excited to see him continue to play because he was definitely one of the most hyped up rookies coming into the league, and he has definitely delivered so far, and I want to see if he can continue to deliver. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me from the future. When I did initially record this vid, I did pick Slime to be the player to watch on the Vancouver Titans, but the more I was talking about it, especially when I was recording, the more I was just like, nah, I don't think he's the player to watch on this team. So I'm going to switch it. The player who I would recommend watching is Haxel. Now, Haxel, he, as we all know, he's a veteran. He's insane at that Genji, but he has been probably a top 2 Brigida. I think he is a reason why the Vancouver Titans were able to beat the San Francisco Shock. I'll throw up the stats between him and Rascal right now. It's crazy just how much more damage that he's able to do compared to other Brigidas, not just Rascal, but just other Brigidas in general. He's just been stellar this entire stage, and I can't wait to not just watch his Brigida continue to be awesome, but I'm also excited to see all the other characters that he can play. So with that, that is going to be the video of all the players I would recommend keeping an eye out for in Stage 2. Thank you so much for watching. If you do enjoy Overwatch League content, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.